The thing about this whole thing, this whole dynamic of energy, is that those that are exacerbating the situation have to tell you ahead of time, have to create the template of fear ahead of time before the dynamic of manifestation comes into play, because this is a dynamic, dear ones, of them stealing your free will. And if you look at that dynamic of energy, what they're doing is they're getting you to have an opinion in one way or another, to make a judgment, to freeze certain things in place, to make sure that there is conflict, that dynamic of that friction continues, so that those energies can, what shall we say, feed off of them. It's a very almost, it's a dynamic. If you look at it without judgment, it is a way that there are other dimensional beings that are gaining nourishment from this energetic dynamic. If you look at it without judgments, you can now begin to utilize this dynamic of energy for yourself. They are trying to create a dynamic of reality through what you are seeing in the reflections of media, in the reflections of your TV, in what you're hearing on your radios, of all the dynamics of the judgments that people have about each other and their world. And this dynamic just keeps going, banging back and forth and back and forth. And as you succumb to that dynamic, you allow yourself to participate. How many things in your world, and you can counter that energy. When you see that dynamic, often what we have told you, some of you who have taken trips with us know that there have been those circumstances where we will have described the situation, which would allow you to have an emotional experience of a dynamic before it happened, so that it was not necessary for it to actually manifest in the dynamics of your reality. So you can do this same sort of dynamic. If you find something that you are hearing reflected in the dynamics of your reality, yeah, you can go along with it. You can allow yourself to be in fear. You can allow yourself to get all angsty and all anxious in that sort of way. And you can do that, or you can say, no, I will not comply. I will not agree. And that simple act is a free will choice. And that's all it will take to shift the energy. And so at the very least, you are not adding to that dynamic of loosh. In fact, you are adding a dynamic of love by saying, no, I'm not going to go there. It's not right. It goes against my being. Now, it's one thing saying it, and it's another thing following it up with action. Because that's the dynamic that ultimately brings it into a shift in your experience, is you beginning. You don't have to ever do it all. All you have to do is begin to take those first steps in that direction, and reality will begin to shift and change for you. So that's our lesson for this evening.